All right. Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to LaneSmash Season 5. I am Gelos, and I am your caster for today. I am joined by my good bud, Billawan here.
Hi.
Going down the Beetle to Ganon lane. It should be a fairly exciting match. I know GSG from Emerald. They do specialize quite a lot in this kind of combined arms format. They know a bit about the format as well, and that being said, they are a bit of a newcomer to this whole thing. So should be interesting to see how they kind of pick up how the meta works and see what they do. Against a team like RSPC, which Billy, I think they're a little bit more versed in this format, right?
Yeah, just for anyone wondering that doesn't know, GSG is a GSLD on live. If you
Mm-hmm.
do play on Emerald, you might have seen them. RSPC is a French team made up of two outfits from Miller, one NC and one TR. However, they do play it together a lot. A name that people might have heard that have been around for a while is One RPC. They've been participating in all kinds of Planside tournaments since the beginning at a very high level in some as well. And they are teaming up with Ares, who's a newer French outfit. They have a bit of Jaeger experience now, but they're not as experienced as some other outfits.
Yeah.
Probably similar levels of experience to GSG, actually, maybe a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think probably a little bit more. Um, like I said though, GSG kind of coming into this new, but on live, this is kind of their bread and butter. This is what they do. Is this combined arms, and then infantry focus once they're in the base. Really try and actually cap those bases using more standard kind of call outs, medics, etc. They're not that bad at it either. So it should be really interesting to watch how they handle a LaneSmash format, specifically where you're having a lot more concentration of skill with all field.
So I don't personally play on Miller much, so I'm not sure how good the French team is at cheesing it up at playing combined arms. But I do know that one RPC used to be famous for their medics, for their necromancer playstyle in 12v12 tournaments.
Well, that's
And I think that could be key in infantry holds in this, especially on this lane, because there's a lot of buildings to hold.
yeah. I was gonna say that's
You
good
don't get
news.
many angles for vehicles to shoot inside.
Yeah, that's definitely good news for LaneSmash specifically, just because you will. That's kind of the meta, really, is just go in there with lots of. If so, for anybody that's kind of new to LaneSmash, it's like a server smash, but really concentrated. Like literally, you are on one lane, and you will fight on that one lane, using more server smash kind of tactics. So when we say someone's good at resonating and actually like fighting with lots of medics and such, really does mean good things likely will happen, hopefully for that team anyway, because that is really what you want to see is a lot of coordination with medics and actually really getting on point and keeping your boys alive.
Something we should probably mention is that there is a team captain's gentleman agreement.
Oh yeah.
Two of them actually. One is no air-to-air lock-ons. I'm not sure if that includes hyenas. I'm assume it's just the actual lock-ons, so tomcats. And no Empire-specific launchers. So that's a big
That's
downside for the TR
yeah.
team, actually.
That's pretty much just a
The
nerf
match
to
is starting in
the
5 minutes.
match starts in 5 minutes. It's going to be right on time. So anyway, that's going to be a huge nerf to TR there because the striker is actually very good at taking out air. So it's going to be hard for TR to kind of handle that air if they don't have a good airball game themselves going into this. So we'll see if they can, especially in that initial push, if they can actually hold on to their airball and really keep the enemy's airball out of the skies, because that's really going to put a damper on their actual caps. Just to point out
there's a 2-minute delay added on top of that now, so the match will start at so the match will start in 7 minutes.
All right, and I'm just going to put this on an in-game map screen here real quick. I just want to kind of show the lane we got going here. So we're starting
while
at.
We'll talk about the air though. I know the RSPC team has some very strong pilots, so I'm quite surprised by GSG agreeing to this gentleman agreement.
I was going to say the same thing.
DNC don't lose anything from this. The Phoenix is pretty much useless in LaneSmash. I can't think of a single scenario where it would be good.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very surprising that they would want to do that because it's really just a nerf to TR at this point. The Empire specific and the air-to-air stuff specifically does only apply to that striker. So anyway, let me just go over this lane real quick. So the starting two bases here are going to be Johari Cove and Root House Distillery. Both of which are fairly open in most cases, other than the actual point room itself. But you can see not a lot of cover for when you're hitting roofs and hitting the actual top catwalk area where you're going to be fighting. So depending on how that initial air ball goes, whoever wins the air ball, and assuming they have lull pods, breaker rockets, whatever it be, they are very likely going to be able to keep whatever other faction is trying to get in out very, very well. Same goes for Johari Cove as well. In fact, more so for Johari Cove because it's a smaller building for the camp.
It's also Johari Cove doesn't have. It has one very bad angle for tanks to shoot inside, or Sundies or whatever, vehicles in general. While Root House, the entire front of that A point is exposed to tanks sitting on the road. If you have armor control, that is, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't remember. I do think that the Ghanan tech plant to Root House Distillery is faster than Bittle to Johari. So if both teams start at the same time in their ESFs with bale seats, as is the meta.
The match is starting in 5 minutes. I repeat, the match is starting in 5 minutes from now.
We will probably see TR flip the point first, but I'm not entirely sure on the flight times anymore. Been a while.
Yeah, the flight times will definitely play a big part in this. I will say though, I know why the armor rolling will definitely be slower from Biddle to Johari because they have that this very long winding road that you really can't cut across right here in the middle. Let's mark that up right here, right there. That's not actually cut acrossable really because there's just a giant mountain there. So the armor will probably be slow from Biddle to Johari, depending on how much armor they intend to pull if they're doing that kind of a strategy even. And then from Ghanan, of course, you can just cut across a lot of this territory, so they're going to have a lot faster of a rollout when it comes to that. But again,
absolutely. But it's even if they were faster, it's very hard to keep Sundies in good spots at Johari Cove. So I don't think it really matters for an attempted hold if they get there first.
Yeah.
We'll have to see though. It is, however, an interesting, especially the Johari Cove area is interesting to see tanks fight on. It's actually one of the lanes with a bit more cover. It's not just sniping each other from range, so that could be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see the vehicle gameplay that's going to be happening around the Johari to Root House area. It's fairly open, but because there are areas in the tree line here, there's some rocks layered around. You can actually sneak some tanks around and get a flank on Johari Cove people, or vice versa even. So we'll see if something like that kind of plays out. Otherwise, it might end up being an entirely an airball only opener. Which I would not be surprised about if that was the case, because air balls for this lane in particular, it looks like it's going to be a pretty strong way to go.
I would be surprised because that tank, if you don't pull it in the beginning, that's 450 nanites.
That's true.
Don't get for free basically, because you do get to pull your vehicles before the round starts and then replenish your resources.
That's true. You do want to make sure you get your resources back before the match.
Resources, basically, if you need to lane smash, a lot of it comes down to a war on resources. Who runs out of resources first? Who can't spam grenades, sundies, tanks, aircraft anymore?
Yeah, so if
C4.
if like an initial airball goes poorly, that's everyone's out 450 nanites, assuming they didn't already have that back. But because most people they tend to just pull their aircraft long before the start of the match. These basically this initial pull of a scythe or a mag rider or such, that's going to be free as long as they pulled it like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the match. So it's always it's always that free initial push, but then it's after that you have to start worrying, did we lose our airball? We need to pull a whole new airball. That's going to be everyone's out 450 nanites right away. 350 nanites, sorry. So lot of nanites to worry about when it comes to actually like doing counter pushes, especially.
Yeah, and that is why it is so valuable in LaneSmash to have players that can play every role at least a bit, because the infantry guys probably don't use as many resources as some of the vehicle players if it goes poorly for the vehicles. And then if you can swap them out, like get one of the infantry players to go and play pull a Sunday or even a tank, that's a very valuable player right there.
Yeah.
That can do multiple things.
And like I was saying earlier, those resonades and having a good squad comp is super important in LaneSmash for this reason as well. You can't always rely on a Sunday to actually be able to even pull up to your fight. So if you can cap a base without relying on a spawn, which is very, very hard to do. I've seen it happen, but it's very, very hard in the LaneSmash format. You are really in a good spot because everybody that is inside of that cap point is basically going to be full on nanites for the next push, and that momentum is just going to transition, let's say, from Johari to Root House, and then they could all pull either a tank or a Sunday or even another couple of ESFs for a new airball. So it should be quite interesting to see this after this initial push, who can do the momentum really well. Who cast? Oh, if you missed the intros, I am Gelos, and the co-caster today is Billy. Billawan.
Hi. I don't think anyone knows who Billawan is anymore.
That starts in 1 minute. Hopefully there's a countdown because I want to make sure I can start this timer on time this time around. I know last time I messed it up by about a minute. Scuffed in a streamer.
Typical. Yeah, I'm excited for this match. It could be
30 seconds.
Interesting. Someone's asking if your mic is low, Gelos.
It could be. I made sure that Billy, you were actually more audible this time around. I think during Pill, I had the co-caster really low.
Okay. Maybe we can get some other people to say how it is for them in chat. That would be very helpful.
4, 3, 2, 1. Match start.
Okay, match starts. I'm gonna go look at the NC. We see that looks like all Reavers. I can't see a single other vehicle.
Alright, taking a look at TR here.
That's a TR Mozzie coming from an interesting direction.
Yeah, it looks like the TR airball here has kind of mostly kind of just crashed down and gone infantry right away.
The NC have landed hovering a galaxy above Root House. And there's a beacon, and beacon drops on Root House.
Beacon drops very important. You always want to have those set up right away.
I guess the TR infantry was just waiting in the redeploy screen for that beacon to go up so they could drop in on it.
Yeah, alright, so TR has, basically they were just holding on to Johari Cove there. And then we've got Root House. It looks like the TR actually pushing in here. This is GSG on TR.
Yeah, that's rocket. They're getting air hammered and rocket pot apart.
Yeah, a lot of that initial airball kind of sacrificed themselves to defend Johari Cove, and what ended up happening here is they didn't have enough of an airball for Root House, so we now have a lot of the GSG guys kind of stuck in a building, not able to move a whole lot.
Yeah, there's rocket pots everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Pushed.
Oh yeah, it's looking a little dire here for the GSG guys. I don't know if they can be able to push this out.
Here. They hacked the terminal and pulled maxes. However, none of them, maybe one of them should have switched to flak and like done something against these aircraft.
Oof, yeah, it's not looking too good for them. Let's take a look at Johari here, see if no, none of the RSPC guys have made it over here and started capping yet there either. So might be enough time for GSG to make a second push into this. Right now, it's a bit of a stalemate for both GSG and RSPC.
Yeah, so far both teams seem to have focused on denial a lot, denying the enemy from getting to their point.
Yeah, which has ironically caused a stalemate for both of them.
We see the point flipping at Root House.
Oh, yep, there it goes.
There is
a couple of men made it inside.
One heavy on point.
Yeah, only need one actual infantry to manage that.
The team leader, Rapid, actually here.
Cheeky little Galaxy trying to aim his bulldog inside here.
Okay, there's one.
Ooh, a phylactery max inside of the root house here. He's gonna take the res. There he goes. He's got full health, that phylactery. And he takes down the other max.
TNT max dead.
TR max, you mean?
TR max, yeah, my bad. We see more TR coming in though. There's one more guy.
Yeah, they're making a second push. GSG's kind of pushing with their momentum. They had that denial over at Johari. Looks like they actually managed to somehow get spawns over here. I think this was entirely a beacon drop spawn. It looks like.
Yeah, somehow MC's struggling to kick them out of the base.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Considering how much air support they have, it is surprising that they did not keep them out of that base. They really had them locked down in that building, but GSG actually managed to push right inside from a different route. I guess they weren't looking very well there. RSPC is kind of slacking on their defense with this one. So now we have plenty of GSG guys just hold up inside. It's going to be really hard for them to be kicked out of this unless you get a full push with infantry from RSPC, which we might end up getting any time now.
And they are doing the smart thing here. They're mostly getting out of point room because as long as you can kill the people in point room, you don't actually need to be in there and getting shelled by vehicles. You can just sit in the corridor.
So this is exactly what's happening right now. They're getting shelled constantly by the outside airball, lolpotting them, and a lot of them just kind of got either quite literally screen shook to death, or they just got actually killed to death by the lolpods themselves. So yeah, RSPC good defense there. Going to probably take this momentum they have and end up pushing because they have a Galaxy here. I can't imagine they're not going to be using that to transport a couple of these guys to the next base. Let's see what happens. They might even have a bus set up already.
Close to the spawn room, they might pick up maxes here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they started using that Galaxy to pick up a couple of those maxes and move them on over.
You have to keep in mind the NC maxes aren't that great anymore, but it's still better than having infantry. It is a big nanite investment though for a not so great max.
That's for sure.
We already see a fight actually on Johari Cove.
Yeah, Johari is actually happening right now. I don't know where their spawn is. I think it's just strictly a beacon, but we do have a bus up.
There is one bus deployed and one bus is driving up into the base.
If RSPC can make a real good infantry push here, they'll get this building no problem. There's not a lot of defenders in there.
And they are pushing it. It looks like they're clearing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're getting in there. That infantry push did a really good job. They're actually inside now. They've got maxes set up. I do see a couple of medics as well, so good squad comp by RSPC here.
And you know how I said before that the NC maxes aren't that great anymore? I have to take that back a bit because they're using scatter cannons, and scatter cannons still one-shot enemy infantry or friendly infantry.
Yeah.
And this is a very in this building you can just hold the door. And anyone that walks in, you just one-shot them.
Yeah, with this, with the upgraded obs cam, you can kind of see the entire ball of people inside there, and you can see a large presence of NC boys inside. So they're going to have a good time holding this, especially if they hold up like they have it, because they have we have NC turrets here, we have maxes at the doorways, hard light barriers, and we even have a TR hard light barrier here working accidentally against them.
We also have air hammers. Killing them as they approach the point, and the Cobalt Zombie locking down the high ground.
Let me get rid of all these waypoints. There we go. Yeah,
And
like I was saying
those
earlier,
air
these
hammers are really helping them out here.
these
They
two
can't even
initial
get
bases are very, very open. So the air support here is doing a tremendous job at keeping the GSG guys out of that building. They're having a very hard time pushing in. You can kind of see them grouping up in the telly side there, but other than that, they're not really able to really push in from their main spawn, and that's going to be a hard push from that side as well.
I can't see any pushes right now. They must be gathering up somewhere though. Clear. Surely they're not
Maybe,
giving up.
yeah.
There we go. There's a push coming from spawn, and
Okay.
NC Air has spotted it now, and is air hammering away.
Yep. Yeah, all of these guys
However,
have
most
been
of them
spotted.
are through. And now they're getting bulldog.
Ooh, this is
this
gonna be a
is not looking
slaughter
good.
at the doorway. You gotta, when you're doing a push like this in a LaneSmash format, you've got this much air cover. This is not where you want to get stalled at. Oh man, just constant bulldogs at that door. Absolutely destroyed the GSG push.
Nikki
Ooh.
just asked in chat if there was no gentleman agreement, and there is actually two
There is.
gentleman agreements for this match. There's no air-to-air lock-ons and no Empire-specific launchers.
Basically, what that means is just no striker, really. So the only gentleman's agreement that happened was basically just to nerf the TR. I just don't see the benefit that TR got out of that gentleman's agreement, to be honest with you.
If there was VS, you could argue the Lancer is also very
Yeah.
good against air, but
the Phoenix is really just
we
not
do see
something.
these C-Max is actually now one-shotting people. Very
Yep,
good.
yep. Those NC Max is definitely doing work against the push. Once again, GSG has a very hard time with the momentum here just because of several factors.
I'm quite surprised that we see so little combined arms gameplay from GSG.
Well, I'm not too surprised at this point. This is kind of what they do. They would want to set up those spawns first, but when it comes to infantry fighting, they're much more known for just general infantry stuff, not really trying to get cobalt buses upstairs or anything like that. It is more about getting their spawn set up so they can get their infantry in.
Oh yeah, but they have abandoned the air, and they have, as far as I can see, abandoned the ground vehicle.
Yeah, that is surprising that they've abandoned the air, actually, because at this point, I think they should have some nanites ready to go for a new airball. It's been about 5 or so minutes, 5-10 minutes maybe, since the initial airball. Use slow movements, Patreon.
Yeah.
There we go.
This NC Sandy is smoking, but there's 10 seconds left, and I can't see them making a push here. I can't see any TR in the base, actually. Actually, there's a few in the spawn, but they're really blowing up. They've conceded.
Yeah,
this
I
base.
think they've conceded this one.
They're going on the defensive.
Yeah, let's take a look at how they're setting up. Definitely getting ready for that next
NC's
NC
already
push.
flipping it.
Ooh, very
And
smart for
they're-
NC.
They're
This,
ready with motion downs.
yeah. So this is likely a stalker infill or
Nope,
or a
it's
regular
bolter.
infill.
It's
Okay.
a bolter, yeah.
Well, just a regular infill then. That was actually smart of them. It's always a good idea if you have the momentum to have that second guy just waiting on the point to get that next cap, because it always prevents the people that you were attacking at the last base from getting their base back and really stalling the momentum that you had. Basically, this man just allowed them about 10-15 seconds or so to just push with all of their vehicles to the next base. So let's see what the NC's doing here. We've got one Vanguard, so I'm not seeing a lot of vehicle presence by
Just
TR.
setting up a Sunday behind the
Okay.
point.
So
It's getting hit. but-
yeah. Oh, yep, here we go. So we've got a GSG Liberator about to battle it out with this this Galaxy. This probably has a lot of their infantry. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just a couple of infantry. Yeah, only a couple of
I
infantry
think
dropping
the,
from that.
Galaxy has mostly been a battle Galaxy.
Yeah, it's
probably
definitely-
squad spawn / support, fire support. Yeah, is holding on to this point though. We saw two NC Maxes trying to go on side, and neither of them could really make a push here.
That said, even though TR is holding it right now, you know, RSPC has had a great time pushing them out of buildings pretty quickly. I will not be too surprised if yep, here it goes right now. The Bulldog Galaxy is now shelling the inside. And just to point out for anybody that doesn't realize, that's not just doing damage to the infantry. What it's doing is a lot of screen shake. So any of the NC that's pushing in right now is going to have a very hard time, or the TR is going to have a very hard time shooting at them because of how much screen shake that's going to add to it. It's a good setup.
Kongs going in. They might get ready to push.
Oh, there goes the push.
Maxes are on the push.
NC going with a good push here. One of their maxes just went down pretty quickly though, but the other one's holding steady, still about half health.
They have secured the server room though, so they might be able to get medics in. Never mind, TR's pushing.
Oh, counter push by TR. Is there any no flanks or anything going on? So this is strictly a brute force push by TR.
That was a good push by NC, but they didn't have enough people to back it up. However, they do have a Sunday right next to the point building now.
Okay.
It's
well then,
right next to it.
This is just a matter of time then. Unless TR can actually manage to kill that bus, that's going to definitely cause them to lose this point.
I don't think they even know it's there yet. Looking at how these people position outside these medics.
Yeah, they I don't think there's any way for them to, even if they did know, honestly, I don't think there's any way for them to push out because there's just too many NCs spawning off of it right now. Unless they did an entire group of them pushing out to try and kill that bus all at once. And then you've still got to worry about this massive airball going on by NC.
Yeah, this is the issue if you use the vehicle control completely. You don't get to contest enemy spawns anymore, and they just get to place their heads everywhere they want, and NC clears them out.
Yep, there goes the NC clear for TR, and see if TR can actually manage to push back in. They're actually, I will say that TR infantry-wise has been doing a pretty nice job, even without using that many maxes. They've actually been able to manage to kind of carry their own weights when it comes to each individual infantryman. Kind of killing and pushing without the force multipliers that you would expect. That said, you really want to see a lot more force multipliers when it comes to LaneSmash, because that is what this whole thing is about, is using vehicles, maxes and such, to your advantage. And as I say that, here comes an NC harasser with a canister on it, taking out door 3 TR man. Yeah, canister.
Now that's
classic.
That's an alpha play because the canister is pretty garbage.
Yeah.
It's been in a very bad state.
Yeah, it's been in a bad spot. Yeah.
I am surprised though how good GSG managed to hang on to points when it was just infantry versus infantry.
Yeah.
RSPC definitely has the stronger infantry players.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah. From what it looks like, though.
To those points very, very well.
Yeah, from what it looks like, GSG's not doing too bad when it comes to like squad comp and putting a couple hard light barriers up in good spots and stuff like that. So they know a little bit of what they need to be doing. But I think the thing that might be holding them down so far is just that lack of force multipliers. You're seeing a lot of infantry just constantly pushing, but not a lot of maxes, not a lot of vehicle.
Absolutely. Then again, it might also be that because RSPC actually has vehicles, that those are the people that lacking to push the TR when TR is doing a good hold.
Yeah.
But it works out for them because they get to dictate the spawns, they get to shut down re-pushes from TR with the vehicles. So
right. Well,
that's why you want to do that.
Let's see if we've got another TR push coming in here. They just tried a really good push over there at the Dubs door, but you just saw because of their lack of any kind of air defense, really. They just got melted up that stairway. As soon as they came out of cover from the bridge area here, and they hit here, the air just immediately swarmed on a Bulldog Gal and all the breaker pods, constantly just pelting them there. So really having a very hard time once they get out of cover. It's like the moment they peak, they're just immediately swarmed on by all of these lol pods. Even sometimes in the cover, you can kind of see the Bulldog still manages to shoot that. Yep. So, they didn't spot this one NC man in the corner though. He's getting a good flank.
There's an NC man going in with a knife at door 2.
Uh-oh.
He's just knifing them. He doesn't even get his gun out.
Oh, this is
BM.
That was a good lurk by 0396.
And he goes down.
You don't see a lot of lurk plays happening in PlanetSide, but that was a good lurk. So once again, we do have TR trying that same push on Dubs. I think it might be time for us to a bit of a tactics change here. Unfortunately, I don't think they're making too much progress on that Dubs door.
I think if they'd want to retake this, they'd have to contest the vehicle control that
Oh,
NC
yeah.
still has, that RSPC still has. If they can't do that, they're not getting this back. And if they're not gonna get this back, if I was them, I'd be setting up a attack plant right now. Because pushing a tech plant where the defenders are set up is very hard, but pushing a tech plant and getting on point and holding it when the defenders are not set up is easy. Very easy. There's a mosquito now, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing a much less TR, so I think they went ahead and started the defense over at the tech plant. So we'll see if RSPC can just continue this momentum all the way to the tech. Looks like that Galaxy might be coming in a little bit low, maybe trying to pick up a couple of those infantry and some of those maxes I'm sure they have in there.
GSG,
Yep, there goes a
the
Mac.
mosquito they have is actually just air to ground, Banshee and rocket pods, and he was just flying peacefully next to the air hammer. This is just like live gameplay.
That's what you like to see, really.
He is being hunted down now, though. And the ENC are dropping in on the balcony. Dropping above it for now.
Yep. Here comes that classic tech plant drop. I'm sure they're gonna put beacons up and all that. Yeah, that's expected. I would hope that TR would be ready for this. This is their last bastion of hope. If they end up losing this, that is the end of the match for them. They really got to hold on to this tech plant and then try and cause that.
End of the round.
And end of round, I should say. This is their last bastion here, so they gotta kind of push out so they can at least take a couple territories, maybe back if they can. They really got to get their momentum back if they've got enough time. Most importantly, though, they just can't lose this because that would be detrimental for the overall match for them.
Oh yeah, losing your home base is almost impossible to recover from.
Yeah, not just because of points wise, but also morale wise, I should say. They a lot of these guys will probably feel like it's over and they just can't really push out for the next one. Hopefully they can kind of mitigate that a bit and really make a good counter push here. They do, I will say, really nice.
Going out. Where are they going?
I will say there's a really nice setup in here by TR right now. We have a Cobalt Harasser ready to go on the balcony. So whatever push that NC ends up making here for RSPC, it's going to be met by that Cobalt Harasser no matter what.
ENC are actually trying to push in from double doors now, from downstairs.
That's very surprising, but honestly, I guess it's not the worst idea. The TR guys were very, very much ready for them on balcony. So if they go in from a different side here, maybe they will catch them off guard and maybe even be able to push back.
They're already on the other side as well.
They
very hard to push.
Yeah. So GSG kind of showing they do still have good infantry control. RSPC may have been pushing about the whole time, but GSG does know how to do the infantry stuff. So we can see if they can manage to.
20 minutes remaining.
We can manage to hold on to this. 20 minutes remaining, so there's plenty of time for GSG to not just defend this base, but even push into the next base. All they really need is one man, and then they can get everybody over.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they don't just have a person go into the next base on a cloak plate or with an ESF even, and just
for
that point.
A bit of maybe a bit of insight. Hopefully, what I'm hoping anyway is their strategy. Maybe is just to get all of RSPC over here at the tech plant, trying to push in, and then at the very last second, get all of their forces to move over to Gun and South immediately. Once they have like a spooky cap set up in the back and then a beacon as well. We'll see what happens, though.
It looks like all of the NC forces are already there.
Yeah. Now would be a great time for TR to kind of set up a quick back cap if they can. I know it would be hard to get through all of that air.
Just put a cloak tank right over there, drop the beacon, you're in. It's possible.
Oh, it's possible. It's very, very difficult. With the amount of air here, it's very difficult to get out of the get out of eyesight.
Air doesn't see the cloak flashes, so they are a great
true.
tool in bases that are close together in lane smashes.
So once again, GSG holding pretty well over here at the stairwell. RSPC is just having way too hard of a time actually managing to make up these stairways. It's surprising to see too, because they had such a good momentum going in for the other bases, but once they got inside this tech plant here, GSG's really kind of flexing on them with their defense. They're doing really well, keeping them off. They've been holding them off for at least about a minute and a half now, with all of RSPC's forces just really trying their best to push in.
Oh yeah, but you have to keep in mind that tech plants are great.
That is true, yeah.
They're absolutely amazing. There's a reason why you see so many good outfits on live taken, or even not so good outfits, just taking tech plants. Because once you're in there, you're so hard to kick out.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have a small push by RSPC here. We're gonna see if they can take this balcony back. They got the max. Can they get the rest of the balcony? They have the balcony. GSG now has lost balcony control, which is never a good thing.
There is clearly Maxis moving in.
Oh yeah. If they can keep that momentum and actually push all the way up right now, they're going to be in a good spot. But right now they're holding. Oh, they're getting C4'd. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Oh, but a couple of phylactery maxes actually managed to come back, but immediately going back down. Yeah, what you don't want to see is a bunch of maxes kind of get stalled right here in the stairway, because that always is the C4 trap area. That is exactly what happens.
Point flipping for NC.
Yep. Yeah, they have one NC man over here, and I think only a couple of TR even left in the building now at this point. Most of them are rotated back to that balcony and ended up getting killed by that C4. But we do have TR coming back in. We'll see if they can manage to kick these NC guys back out. Let's see if they notice.
This is gonna be pretty hard for TR to take back now. And I just noticed they haven't killed the vehicle terminal in the back, so NC could hack this and just fill the garage with Sandaras.
Yeah, that is a bad move by TR. That's a rookie mistake. You always want to kill that vehicle terminal if you're defending.
Because once you fill that Sunday bay with vehicles, that's the vehicle bay with Sundays, sorry, it's very hard to push out from that tunnel.
Now we have GSG really trying their best to use the rabbit hole little elevator thing here to its best extent, but honestly, it's kind of a suicide trap at this point if you keep using that. They may have a better push coming in at a different direction. We'll see what ends up happening. Still seeing most of their forces end up using that rabbit hole. I'm really hoping they change tactics on that one, because that's very easy to defend from. And here comes all of the NC buses.
Two NC TR prowlers trying to work over those Sundays.
Oh, okay, so that's a good strategy.
If you're not aware, there is currently an issue where your vehicle that you pull from a pad might just go through an enemy shield. And that is what just happened to that NC Sunny. That's why he took so much damage. Yeah, they'll go right through the shield spawns right now. There we go, the vehicle terminal is dead. TR have managed to at least recover that.
Alright, that's good. Hopefully they can get another push in here, because we really got to see a TR counter push in order to get the rest of their territory back.
Still need to get on point though.
I just want to point out one thing, because I have the big map open. It's 40% TR pop, 51% NC.
So, they must be setting up a play.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
I'm hoping that's not. I'm hoping that's not a couple of rage quits, because that will definitely impact TR's performance for the rest of the.
There's no way. They're setting up a play somewhere.
Somebody has their infinity shooting glitch going. One of these medics here. So we'll see how this TR counter push works out.
Pop is dropping even further.
Oh yeah,
so if they're not setting
it's 100% going to be a counter push, but I just don't know what exactly they're going for here.
Be interesting to see though. Because retaking the stack plant holds gonna be hard. The NC doesn't really have any spawns inside here though. They have 1 or 2 beacons on top. They're all moving onto the balcony now. I guess they're expecting a balcony push.
Yeah, that's a good bet. I mean, if you were to push from, say, like a warp gate or so, it would always be balcony that you push from. Oh, in fact, I see a TR gal coming in. One of the first ones missed, but the rest of them hitting the balcony pretty quickly there. We have the rest of them hitting the other side balcony. There they go. They're going to use full momentum here.
And those mechs,
Ooh, the
down.
entire right side balcony has just been wiped. A couple of C4s and a couple of breaker pods has just destroyed that.
They were
No.
so ready for them.
Wow, they took a long time to set that one up too. So RSPC had a long time to set up a defense for that. That is very unfortunate for TR because that was a lot of resources they just used.
See, and this is why I was gonna say you could go for the balcony, which is expected. Or you could use the teleporters in the gun deck and just push up the stairs, because no one ever expects that.
Yeah, nobody ever expects the gun deck, mostly because it's a terrible place to go from. But if you can use that to your advantage because it is such a surprise, you can definitely take back attack plant with a full push like that.
Better than pushing into a full
Yeah.
team setup on the balcony.
Yeah. Yeah, I think GSG just used a ton of resources at this point. I don't know if they can do another push like that.
I saw at least 6, maybe 7 maxes and
7 maxes plus the 2 gals, and I'm sure a couple of people had probably ended up throwing a couple of C4 bricks and such. So no matter what, a lot of people use resources.
That's a huge investment.
Only 2 minutes left on this cap for the TR home base. If RSPC takes this, it's going to be very, very hard for them to recover. They have
Someone pointed this out in chat, and I agree, they must really regret giving up the strikers now.
Yeah, it's definitely you know, there's really no upside for that gentleman's agreement for the TR side, because there was the only Empire specific launcher that you would have to worry about in this scenario is the striker. And gentlemen's agreements are agreements between 2 captains. So the the GSG guys could have said, you know, we just don't agree to that, and we're going to use the strikers. But that is clearly not what happened here.
Absolutely. It wouldn't have helped them much on this base probably, but it would have helped at
would have definitely helped
the
on the initial airball for sure.
Yeah, a lot. It would have helped a lot on Johari Cove, and still quite a lot on Gun and 7. Not as much, but.
Take a quick look at the scoreboard for anybody that's going back on the VOD and wanting to look at their scores. 400 there with that big 13 kills.
That's gonna be a pilot.
Yeah, very likely. Or it could be one of the C4 guys that actually managed to kill everybody on one of the either balcony pushes here or balcony pushes on the door.
Did the TR just give up entirely?
It's possible, yeah. I see a small push happening from TR, but it's just not enough. At this point, I think TR has resigned. Unfortunately.
2 mosquitoes now. They finally contest the air. 13 seconds before the match is over.
Round is over.
See, there was some discussion.
There it is. So that is 1 hour.
GG to
round end. Please, everybody redeploy out of the continent. It's 3-0 for RSPC.
That was a strong showing from RSPC.
End round, there we go.
And there was some discussion beforehand if they really should be in the B bracket. I'm not sure. I'm not the one to judge, but they definitely smashed this team.
Oh yeah, this was quite the roll by one of our RSPC. They did a very good job there at not only that initial defense, which actually ironically both teams did a good job with their initial defense, but RSPC recognized that there was a defense going and immediately started the counter push as soon as they wiped GSG out of their first base that they had to hold on to. So very good job by one our RSPC to kind of take the momentum and really roll with it. GSG really just had a very hard time. Once they lost the momentum and they just kind of started getting rolled because that air ball, once again, open bases and the air ball, not a good combination. So hopefully what we see here is maybe GSG learns a little bit about what they need to hold on to for their initial push, what they need to kind of do right, and maybe we'll see them kind of fix the issues they just had.
Yeah, I think we definitely saw that experience discrepancy. A big thing was having no pilots. I just assumed they had no pilots on GSG. I'm not sure, but I think the just this discrepancy in experience of Jaeger in general and LaneSmash specifically played a big role here. You could see them just reacting to whatever happened correctly. And always being on the offensive, and that's what you have to do in LaneSmash. Always keep the timers ticking for you, and make sure the timers don't tick against you.
You guys can get back onto the continent.
Oh god, I set off a discussion what is A and B tier team in chat. I'm sorry guys. I was just
just
wanted to
spitballing here, just
mention.
spitballing.
So for the second round, I'm very hopeful that we will actually see GSG trying something different, trying something new.
Yeah, like I said, sorry, I was just taking my robe off. It's very cold here. It's like 70 degrees. It's very brisk. I'm hoping that GSG will definitely learn very quickly. Go into this next one with the mistakes that they made last one. Mistakes learned. Maybe we can see what they can improve on this time around. I'm really hoping that they can kind of take the initial air ball, maybe, or maybe even just keep some air involved in general, because that would be a good thing, very good thing for them to just kind of hold on to the air, or at least some air. I know chat's saying 70 degrees, don't die, but I was very cold, so.
Yeah, Galof, I have news for you. This chat is mostly European.
Oh, that's true.
Because we are casting LaneSmash.
That is true. I do forget this sometimes.
I will, while we're on the break, I will have to go AFK for 30 seconds. My cat wants something.
All right, always attend to that cat.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll leave you with the chat.
Oh.
You guys can come back to the home base.
For anybody that doesn't know why they want everyone off of the continents, by the way, when they're doing rotations for halftime, this is to get rid of things like Spitfires, hard light barriers, claymores, and prox mines, etc. Anything that got laid down before the end of the halftime match, or the before the end of the first half, that stuff gets despawned if you go to the other continent. So they're really just trying to clear all of that stuff that got laid down, and then they were also trying to So once it's all linked up and everything's good to go, it's all set and ready to go for them. They end up coming back. It shouldn't take too long for them to get set back up this time around. It's probably going to be about 5 more minutes, I bet, because they usually want to give them a little bit of a grace period to get their resources back.
Please do not leave your home base. I repeat, please do not leave your home base.
The reason why they don't want them to leave their home base is also just so they don't have anybody messing up with the pops, say to accidentally cap something, or they can just make sure that nobody's breaking a rule by putting down a claymore at like Johari Cove or so. It's very important to have all this set up and ahead of time. Otherwise, you do have a lot of drama when it comes to outfits accusing each other. So it's always good to make sure you're not outside of your home.
Hi, hello, I'm back. Sorry for leaving you alone.
How dare you, first of
With
all.
this caster Gallows? Oh.
Hey, you know, we got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about future LaneSmashes going forward and the merit-based system. What do you think might end up happening? Not just merit, but actually outfit resources and stuff. Because I'm actually really excited to see, obviously this LaneSmash can't incorporate it, but in the future maybe outfit resources could become part of the strategy. Having things like Citadel Shield and Orbital Strikes you know, stocked up and then using them during a match or so.
Absolutely. I do fear that the format might just be too small, maybe, to use them, because they are such powerful tools. But
They are
maybe I'm
very
wrong
powerful.
about that.
You are right though. They are very powerful. Things like heavy anvils. You know, they kind of seem pass upable on live, but even heavy anvils are very strong in a format like this because you can just put one down right away.
1 minute to second round starts.
Yeah, you could just put a Thunderer on a roof somewhere. That would be very strong. But
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
more thinking the Citadel Shield.
Citadel Shield, yeah.
If you don't have air control, if you can't contest it, if you don't know, there's like a little thingy at the top of them that you have to shoot to kill them, or you have to wait for them to time out, which takes like 7 minutes or something. Not entirely sure, but if you don't have any air, it's very
30
hard
seconds.
to contest that. So it would be, you'd be stuck with that Citadel Shield basically. That would be very, very strong.
Yeah. I do think though the Citadel Shields can be used incredibly well though. I've experimented them a bit on live, and I think in a format like this, it could end up even being just broken good, even more so than a orbital strike.
5, 4,
Match is starting
3,
though. I am looking at
2,
TNC again.
1, go.
It's just air again. I don't see ground vehicles.
There we go. Sorry, I know that my
Galaxy again.
I know that my Oh, you're looking at NC this time? Okay.
Yeah. I was looking at NC the last time, buddy. And one NC bailed at root toss. However, they did it very inefficiently, so they're gonna take a while to get to point.
Alright, so
if TR would have made a play here to get on point, they could have actually done it first, but NC is flipping root house.
Yeah, initial play. Looks like NC is once again taking the initial lead. We'll see if GSG can kind of take that back pretty quickly here, because what you don't want to see here is this very quick initial cap by one side, because it means that no matter what ends up happening over here in Johari with the TR guys, they can't do anything. They're stuck because Root House got flipped before they could get their push out. So now we have to have a lot of their forces come back.
That is 3 maxes stuck there. That's massive.
Oh, a Valkyrie came in actually, trying to clear this roof a little bit. We got 040 here versus 0400, which if you remember in the last match, he actually got 13 kills. One of the C4 guys, I was assuming. He could actually just be an infantry man. Ooh, takes down another too. Good job by 0400. Yeah, so it looks like RSPC is going to definitely hold on to this base for a few more seconds here at least, because what just had to happen was GSG had to take a lot of their forces back. That's going to cost them any kind of momentum that they would have had is just shattered immediately. So they're now going to have to deal with this defense.
Looks a bit crumbly, but still decent if they can take care.
Ooh, that's going to be a C4 brick right there. Oh, but it didn't fully kill him.
That's going to be hard.
Yeah, we've only got 2 TR maxes going. If they have another C4 brick and actually manage to put that down, they'll get another kill off of this, but it doesn't look like they had another one.
There's not that many NC here, however, they do have a Vanguard here now.
Well, what's important to note here is that while there may not have been a good amount of NC there for the initial defense, the whole point of that initial defense was just to put time on the board. As you can see, there's going to be about 2 minutes or maybe a minute and 33 seconds or so of time that TR is going to now have to hold on to the point if they can get back on it. NC actually just got back on point again, so NC has more than enough time to push back in.
In that time that they were holding the point, in that time they bought that their base wasn't at risk, they moved up a Vanguard and they moved up a Sunday. 2 Sundays actually at least. So they have spawns now, and those spawns are secured by a tank.
Yeah, and we have TR trying to, they tried to have a bus set up on a flank there, but those 2 Vanguards just ripped it right apart. So it looks like, once again, the initial momentum going to RSPC. If GSG can push them out of here, though, if they can cause some kind of a stall, maybe they can get their momentum back and actually cause an upset for them. But we'll have to see if they can manage it.
There's a total of 3 Vanguards, and that's... I also see 2 Prowlers, but that still seems like a very big commitment. 3 Vanguards. I'm not sure if they're 2 out of 1 or 2 out of 2, but that's 3 to 6 people you have in vehicles not holding the point.
Yeah. Surprised I'm not seeing a hard light barrier up here on the skinny door. This is actually a classic place to put a hard light barrier too. But they have one over here on fat.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes.
There we go. Because the upstairs one is pretty obvious to most people. You cover half of your body, it's harder to shoot you.
The head glitch is just insane there.
The downstairs one is good because
you hold them off.
The enemy to jump to push you. And when they jump, they can't aim down sights, they can't shoot you, and they can't retreat.
Super strong to have one in the doorway.
Often underrated.
Just want to point out here, GSG has a good push going around on fat doors right now. We're going to see if they can take this momentum and roll with it, if they can actually push up those fat stairs with this infantry. But oh no, we just had a small wipe coming in from the flank here. That medic and this heavy here holding it down actually managed to kill these this door 2 push. Now we have a max pushing out of door 3 with some aggression. Oh, we have a Banshee Mossy, I think. In fact, I see
2
yeah, I see a couple of Mossies here. They might have the error.
I haven't seen any Reavers now that you mention it.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Maybe the NC all bailed and our TR seems to have given up on his base zone and setting up for the defense.
Yeah, let's take a quick look and see what's going on at the next one over. So, Beetle Eastern. Is it Beetle Eastern? Beetle... Which one is this? Beetle Stockpile, I'm sorry. So Beetle Stockpile is a kind of a unique base because the point is technically on the roof of a triple stack, but it's completely covered still. So it takes a lot of running from the spawn that you're going to have over here by the Sunday to actually manage to get into the triple and then all the way to the very roof. So it can be good.
Skip some of that by running on the mountain. And speaking of the mountain, you can place beacons on the mountain and on the tree to drop directly onto the roof of point.
That's actually that's going to be the meta strat.
To take out.
That's going to be the meta strategy. I expect RSPC to actually land one of those beacons up there on that cliff line. We'll see what ends up happening here. I think they're just doing a quick cleaning here, getting the rest of the TR guys out of their base before they do the next push. I don't think RSPC was able to actually get a spooky cap set up on the next one just because the TR guys kind of left and made sure to get that next defense going, which is a smart move by them. Because if they can manage to hold them off here and then, like I was trying to talk about it on the tech plant, if they can manage to hold them off and then get that back cap set up.
Yeah, it's something they're already doing better than last round. When they lost the first base in the last round, they weren't ready for the back cap. And they improved on that. That's good. Already seeing steps.
We have a small air battle going on above here. Just we'll just check this out while we're waiting on them to start getting this actual fight going. I do see mostly TR here once again, actually holding the air here.
One Reaver.
Yeah. So TR still holding GSG guys still holding the air right now with at least 5 Reavers, or I'm sorry, mosquitoes. Let's get rid of these waypoints.
Those is that a Vanguard or Skyguard? It's Skyguard actually, but they are working over this NC armor.
Yeah, they're doing a good job here. Let's see if the oh yeah, here comes RSPC. They're getting their first spawn set up. Let's see if they've got that that beacon we were talking about earlier. Nope, they no beacon set up, which is surprising. You'd think they would have had that set up immediately, but then again, there's a lot of air, so they probably can't get a guy up there to set that up. That might have been what that one Reaver was doing.
We see NC Max pushing into triple stack now, though.
On the outside fight right now, GSG is actually pelting the spawns for RSPC, which is a genius thing to do. You really want to be doing this to stop the spawns immediately, and then you can actually get that momentum that I was talking about before. They might actually be able to get the momentum back if they can manage to kill these spawns right away and then push from there.
Oh, one of the Mozzies just...
Yeah, I saw that. They just kind of kamikazed right into the
Yeah, afterburned into it. What? That was
maybe he was out of ammo.
play.
I don't know.
Possibly. The biolab's right next to him, though. Could have just gone.
Yeah, that was a
well,
bit of a surprise.
who knows?
Oh, we have RSPC now hitting point, but oh, I don't see it. They're not capping. Are they back capped? Oh
They
no!
must be, yes, they are for 30 seconds already.
Oh, Rapid, yeah, Rapid, and the boys have all just kind of back capped immediately. Fantastic job by GSG. This is a very good spot to be in. So they now have a lot of RSPC forces over there at the other base. They can't cap. They have to re-push now on this back cap.
And they almost already have a minute on point. That's a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, there's the first minute ticking down at about 4 seconds there. So yeah, that's going to be a fantastic job so far by GSG. If they can hold on to this for the remainder, they're going to be in a good spot. Let's see if they get any buses set up. I don't see any,
This time the TR have the air control.
Yeah. And
Granted, it's not that great on this base, but you can shut down the pushes on double doors onto the point room.
And you know, there are no air-to-air lock-ons for both sides. That does include the NC. Even though that Strikers would have been far more effective than, say, the NC air lock-ons, that still does mean that NC doesn't have air lock-ons. So they will have to...
There is no air-to-air.
Oh, air-to-air lock-ons. You're right. I'm sorry.
That is Tomcats only.
That would be Tomcats.
And maybe Hyenas are included in that. I'm not sure.
So they actually do have access to their ground launchers.
Yes. However, it's those ground launchers, let's be honest, they're not great against a skilled pilot, especially on Hossen. You're not going to do anything.
A lot of cover on a Hossen map, all these canopies. So GSG
all
doing
the pilots are running stealth anyway. They're
yeah,
not gonna
that's true.
get any damage.
Oh, somebody did not notice that C4 break. Luckily, it only killed one of the GSG boys here. Didn't do very much damage to that max either.
They've been using a lot of ambush C4s and working really well for them.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of GSG guys had just been crippled by those C4 breaks that RSPC has been throwing. I will say though, GSG holding it down. Fat Stairway's actually being held down by GSG right now. If they can continue holding like this, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be a great spot for this next push. They have lots of maxes. They can just load them right up into Galaxies. Head on over to the next base.
Oh, this is gonna be hard for them to hold though.
Take a look at this angle though.
39.
We have two Vanguards at an angle here to just shoot into the point. Gonna be shaking the screens of every single TR man inside. All of the GSG guys are gonna have that screen shake effect going on no matter what, whether or not they get hit by this slash or not.
So I see 6 Reavers in the air right now. 7? 7. That is... They're shooting down the TR air, which is good, because the TR air now can't help the Foss on the ground anymore. However, they are losing those people on the ground. Doesn't seem to matter though, they're pushing this point.
One thing to point out is because of those Vanguards, they actually forced everybody into hallway. One conk-nade would have just messed up that entire hold for GSG. But they didn't get conked, so they're still in. What we just saw here was a counter push by GSG to take back server room. They actually got it back with those maxes, but they need to move quickly back into hallway once again, just because those Vanguards are just shelling them constantly from that area outside. They really need to do something either about the Vanguards, or they need to just you know, I'm not actually 100% sure. There's really nothing more they can do unless they deal with these Vanguards. These guys are just messing them up.
Losing the air actually, it was a big investment for RSPC to invest those Reavers, but I think it will pay off because They're pounding them.
They are just pounding constantly. Still though, GSG still holding on to this. I would have expected them to have lost this a little while ago, just because they're constantly getting shelled. That is fantastic job by GSG. I don't know how they're holding this so well. RSPC maybe is just kind of very slow on their push on this one. It could be that.
It is 34 seconds left once they reflip this point.
Yeah, if they can reflip, this is actually.
If they manage to pull it off.
Oh, they're slowly getting cleared though. Oh, but there's a max coming up fat for NC. RSPC looks like they're getting the clear there.
But they got so much time.
Yeah, that was a ton of time. It gives GSG a lot of time to actually get their not only their nanites back, but also just their resources, their buses and such all organized, so they can actually start pushing their reavers as well, so they can start pushing all together rather than piecemeal. This is going to be a really interesting re-push by GSG if we see a good one. Let's see if
see a bit of vehicle combat on the road now, and those prowlers are just losing to the Vanguard.
Yeah,
the Vanguard shield did so much for them there.
Even though the TR boys do have double guns, that Vanguard shield just soaks it all.
Oh, he's going for the C4.
Oh, he might get it.
Nope.
The Vanguard is on cooldown for his shot. Oh, he's dead. Unfortunate.
A good attempt though.
Yeah.
That would have been a great play. So that point that they did really surprised me. That was a great point hold from them.
Oh yeah,
really good.
Fantastic. The movement between from server to hallway every time they actually held the point and then they went immediately back to hall. That was a good move by GSG because they can't be shelled from the hallway, but at the same time they were able to immediately to push out the NC boys, the RSPC guys back out of that point room. It was very, very smart plays by GSG. What I will say, however, right now, I think GSG is not really going to take that little bit of delay. And actually re-push. It looks like they might just be getting ready for defense, which is going to be a while. So we'll see if we can get maybe some vehicle combat displayed here for a bit.
There's a tiny bit of aircom going on, and RSPC this time they're not risking anything. They're sitting on this point at Root House.
Oh yeah, you can even see the Reavers here just holding on to the point itself. This is something that I saw in air pickups a long time ago. Is just everybody holds and just kind of tries to snipe the other vehicles or the other aircraft coming in before they even go in for that next push. I never knew that was a thing until air pickups, and you can see just how effective actually it is because these Reavers have a lot of range on them.
Air pickups, that's a blast from the past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're just hovering and shooting each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is
kind of your classic sort of passive, neither side really wants to go in for that initial push until they get a pick kind of thing.
Yeah, if it was infantry, that initial push, that initial kill would just happen. With these aircraft, it's never going to happen.
It takes a lot longer. It's funny because people like to talk about like TTK times and stuff, but PlanetSide actually has multiple TTKs when you're talking about whether it be infantry for medium TTK or air actually has a pretty long TTK.
Yeah, it's actually trying to push onto Root House point.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look at what's going on down here.
Rapid immediately goes down to an NC metal.
Oh,
so that's an interesting play.
I don't actually. Oh, I see a few people here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, they're already dead.
I think that push is over, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what GSG was hoping for was that if they just gave it a little bit of time and then immediately started the recap within only a few seconds left, they would be able to come back and get that quick, that stall and that maybe even be able to get the counter cap back on.
NC is flipping the point though, a bit though.
Oh, bad news for the TR boys here. They're all going to need to redeploy or / suicide out of here.
And this time they have a beacon. It's not on the hill, but they do have a beacon on the building ready. I don't. Oh,
yeah, still no hill beacon.
They're pushing in now, and they have taken out that NC beacon.
Looks like the one guy up here has to deal with him. He's got a shotgun. He takes him, but it was a trade. There was another guy back. Oh, Oh, interesting spot for a harasser. So we have a Cobalt harasser now with an angle on the point roof. If any of the TR boys try to push up from that stairway there specifically, they are going to die very quickly. Cobalt harassers very well known for insanely fast kills.
Oh yeah, that was a very dirty spot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember dying to that on live for the first time and
Absolutely disgusting.
not being happy with the personal build.
So it looks like NC is now doing a great job. They've already started to set up their defenses. A
That
couple
harasser
of...
just jumped on point roof, and I think it might.
Oh,
be
that was an
dying.
awful idea by
Oh,
that
no,
harasser. He is
why?
stuck now.
I suppose
Oh,
he wanted to hold off the push, but
he probably
that
wanted to
is-
hit the roof, I bet, and maybe hold off the guys trying to run up from the roof. But just
goes
really borked that one.
actually, I think that was a different harasser. I still see one on the hill.
Oh, is there? Okay.
That's different camo though, so they brought two of them.
Yeah, that was definitely the initial harasser. All right, so here we go with the TR push. This is kind of a classic push you would see on live happen all the time. What they're
A bit
wanting
of
to
a
do.
split push actually. Some are pushing above the top, dropping onto the roof. That might be a smart play because the people pushing on the bottom are gonna bait the NC into the more open spots here.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a classic kind of push happening here from the windows as well. TR now holding looks like bottom floor. If they can stay alive, this would be a good spot for them. They can actually push in from here. This is a good spot. They don't have to worry about that Cobalt harasser. Let's see if anybody makes the mistake of going to that stairwell though.
I see 3 harassers now grouped up on this hill.
Oh no. I want to hold here until we get our first victim. I want to see if anybody does not realize the harasser. Oh, here we go. First victim's coming.
Oh no, one
Oh,
of
he
those
completely
harassers
missed
is also shutting down the hill flank.
Oh wow, they were kind of sleeping on that one.
Those harassers are brutal.
Yeah, it didn't really matter if they went up that stairway or not. Honestly, once they get on the point, the harassers have all view on them. That is a disgusting spot for a harasser.
Brilliant, really.
Absolutely
And
filthy.
the NC beacons as well. Instead of going onto, putting them onto the hill, as we said earlier, where they are potentially pushable, killable easily by putting your own beacon close and dropping on them. They have the next piece of their mind that just disappeared.
Somebody probably replaced one on accident, I bet.
They might
Or
have
they
done
emptied.
EMP. Oh no, there's a new beacon going up. So those harassers actually cover the beacons.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, RSPC clearly went into this with
20 minutes remaining.
with a specific strategy for this base, which is what you want to see when it comes to LaneSmash. You got to really set up what you want to do for each base, and this was a clear setup by RSPC, what they wanted to do, where they wanted people parked, because that is a filthy spot for a harasser. And you know, I want to point out too, they didn't really have any harassers running around the bases previously. This is, I think, one of the maybe the first or second time I've seen a harasser even played so far for the match, and you can see they pulled it specifically for this base.
Oh yeah, and harassers are incredibly niche now. Ever since like 2-ish years ago.
I think it was the CIL. What was the
CIA. That's it.
CIA? Yeah.
CAI.
Combined Arms
Sorry.
Initiative. That's the one.
Yeah,
CAI.
exactly.
There we go.
Yeah. They've not been in a great state. However,
Yeah.
they do have these niche roles of just sitting in an angle that you can't get another vehicle to and just shutting something down. All the TR have left the base though.
Yeah, it looks like
Most
they're
of them,
getting ready for that last offense once again. Again, though, we have 20 minutes left in the match. If they can hold them off and then do a counter push and manage to take them all the way to the other base, while it may be unlikely, it is still possible.
They're
you know.
they're not getting ready.
Oh yeah, it looks like they're doing a little bit of a counter push. Not a good spot to be. Oh no.
There's a prowler rolling.
Oh, a
behind.
distraction! Oh my god. Huge brain plays.
Great. That was amazing.
That was fantastic by GSG. Unfortunately, there's another Vanguard. That was a fantastic fantastic play by GSG. I don't know if that was a coordinated one, but I really want to believe it was.
That was beautiful.
That
And
was.
the Prowler actually wins.
Yeah, the Prowler gets
Or
a
gets carried by the
gets a
infantry
1v3 with that distraction. That was fantastic.
To be fair, since they are moving into the biolab now, most likely in 9 seconds, Prowlers won't really matter. He will
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it might have been just a bit of a waste of resources to even pull the Prowler, but we'll see what happens here. Again, I know there's only 20 minutes left, and in order for RSPC or for GSG to really even go back into like a draw or a death match or whatever it would be called, they would have to get all the way to the other base, but it is still possible. I wouldn't count them out just yet, because if they can, say, demoralize them here and really push them out quickly and then count on that momentum, they can actually do it.
I don't think we're the time anymore to see a match draw.
You don't think so?
The
Okay.
time for no. They'd have to retake until Garden. They have to take Garden 7, all those bases up to Garden 7 back to make up the 4 points they have lost. In 17 minutes? 16 minutes? I don't think that works.
I would at least still like to see GSG try and push back and get off of their home base, because you really don't want to just end the match by losing your home base twice in a row. That's never a good thing to see. But it does look like RSPC's got the momentum, honestly. They're going to be pushing in this first powerhouse spawn pretty quickly here. With the teleporter spawn being the way that it is, too, they've got a quick spawn. So they're going to be pushing in here fairly fast. So we'll see what happens here. I'm fairly sure that RSPC is just going to push up this fat stair. Here they go, actually.
I'm really surprised how good these NC Maxes are doing. Maybe I have to test them out again on live.
You know what I'd like to point out, actually? The the RSPC guys and their use of C4 has just been phenomenal this whole match.
Absolutely.
They have just been fantastic with the C4 breaks. They have just, anytime that a push has come across, especially ones with maxes, you've just constantly seen them get wiped by either C4 or the lull pods, but C4 is mixed into it as well. Like, they're always there.
Absolutely, especially the Ambusher LAs did a fantastic job.
Now we do have TR boys kind of held up inside the SCU room. What they're going to want to do is just kind of regroup and then make a big push from SCU to try and push everybody back out and get their points back. It's going to be a big mess for them right now because this is a 4-point building. So getting all 4 points back in time and then getting the recap is just going to be incredibly difficult.
Genshin do seem to have roof control, and that's a big advantage in biolabs, especially if you're the one. Especially if you're the one holding inside buildings and wanting to push towards the SCU. Because you can shoot those people in the back that are trying to camp you in the building.
Yeah, so by the way, another thing to note, RSPC not really pushing off of each point with their infantry. They're kind of just they're leaving a couple of people on each point just for the defense, which is a smart move because they want to get this cap done quickly. They really don't want to just be dangling around on this one. But it does look like GSG guys actually are going to manage to take back B unless this medic or this LA can wipe them. Hold on, he's going back out. He's coming in. Oh, but he goes down. Unless that was a second, man. It was a second. There's more LAs. They might be able to push back into them. Actually, it looks like they did, yeah. So we've got RSPC once again taking back B point.
B point, best point.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's take a look down here below at C point.
It's overloaded.
Uh-oh.
I'm not entirely sure. Since the old rule set said once your spawns were gone at your home base, you can't spawn anymore. But now you get teleporters spawn from Bittle Eastern Depot. Are you allowed to use that when the SCU is down?
I'm not sure. I hope a referee can clear that up for us.
Yeah. Are you even allowed to use those teleporter spawns in general? Who knows?
I feel like you should be able to.
Yeah, if you
It'd be very hard to enforce if that wasn't the case.
True, but it would also stay true to the old LaneSmash meta.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Tia is resecuring the SCU though, it looks like.
Yeah, then maybe. I wouldn't count out our RSPC
Yeah,
yet, because, yeah, they got it back, okay. So, now that we have a couple of TR conglomerated inside the SCU room, we're going to see them try and push out, and hopefully they can get B back, because right now they're in a very bad spot. The only point they have left is 8 points, and that is not going to be enough. Unless RSPC just lets them have it and goes for a 4-minute.
We just got confirmation from Osprey that you do have.
So you have to go for the
can
full cap, I
join
see.
on the teleporter.
Okay.
It's a permanent spawn. You're allowed to use it. So if RSPC wants to close us out with taking both home bases, they have to.
Yeah, they have to get that 8 point.
However, I think they should go for the SCU first rather than the A point because they restrict GSG to
Really?
one spawn if they do that.
Well, here's the thing though, because right now GSG is usually mostly using the spawn room. If they were to grab that point, that means GSG is going to be conglomerated onto this other teleporter room that's between Banana Building and A point, which actually gives them, I think, more freedom to move around this base. So they might not want to go for that SCU. We'll see what happens here.
I think camping one, or containing rather, not camping one spawn.
It's the same thing, really. Oh, here comes GSG. Yeah, pushing once again into that SCU. It should be noted, every time that GSG has to push back into that SCU, they lose a few maxes to just a couple of C4 bricks. So they're running out of resources at this point. No matter what, they're going to run out of maxes to pull pretty soon if they keep that up.
To be fair, I've seen quite a few NC maxes go down as well. I'm not sure if they got revived after, but the NC are definitely draining their nets as well here.
So now we do have RSPC holding on to D point. It looks like this is a good spot for them to push from here to the SCU room. If they can hold this defense, that's going to line them up in a good spot.
I think it's a good point to push from if you manage to get a lace onto the SCU tower and clear out a lot of people.
So far, I haven't seen any TRLA presence, honestly.
I've seen two, actually, and they're trying to contest the MTLAs, but they weren't doing a good job, to be honest. They were standing very exposed and just shooting from range, and that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, RSPC is doing a fantastic job at any kind of push that GSG does. They're just containing it, they're going back, and they're making sure that they get that point back.
Remaining.
GSG, I will say though, kind of getting their momentum back here. If they can keep this flow up, they'll go from D to B, back down to C, and they'll hold on to each point for probably just enough time to get them at least off their home. But we got to see if they can break panic.
Anytime you make that transition to the next point, you lose a few people. However, they did repair the generator somehow. Probably with repair grenades, if I had to say.
Oh yeah, that's very likely. I can't imagine they managed to get an engineer in here.
That's a big play.
Yeah, that means they don't have to worry about the SCU right now. They can actually start worrying more about these points. So we're going to see a lot more GSG guys kind of push into this D point building, this 4 square. Unfortunately, we do have RSPC big presence here with maxes and such. Ooh, good bolt there. Damio bolt too. It's interesting how many bolters I'm seeing, actually.
Really? I've only seen one.
I just saw two.
I forgot his name. Nialo or something like that. The one RPC guy.
Ooh. GSG having a very hard time pushing back into this this 4 square, which is understandable because RSPC does have a scat max. Actually, it's a Matic max, interestingly enough, inside here. Just kind of zooming around here, I want to show a couple of different fights that's happening. Right now, we've got a little bit of jungle action happening outside over here. What they're trying to do is get a bit more of a flanking option on D point, but you can see RSPC is shutting them down most of the time and really making sure that they don't have that flank. On the other side over here, it's kind of quiet, but we do have GSG kind of pushing all the way around and then going for C point. I see a lot of shotgun use too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the meta for this year's LaneSmash is going to be a lot of shotgun and a lot of C4. Rather than the more Max and Cobalt Bust centric meta we've seen before.
So far, I've seen a lot of impressive stuff happening with C4 bricks, so I would not be surprised at all if we see a lot of C4 bricks.
So if I was RSPC here, I try to contest all the points though to not lose time on the too much time on the cap. However, I would wait with any big pushes till that generator is down and go for the SCU gun. Oh, that's a Banshee Monkey inside the biolab.
Oh, what?
Learned from Crowley.
Oh no, that is a Banshee Mossy in the bio.
He's getting rocket right.
Yeah, it didn't go so well,
oh,
but
no.
that's at least entertaining to watch for a second.
He didn't get a single kill. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
unfortunate.
was unfortunate. That was such a great play.
Unlucky.
That it didn't work out.
Yeah. Alright, we now have GSG once again trying to push into B point, but there's just really not enough of them. What I'm seeing happening here is there's a lot of piecemeal fighting happening. This is almost like a live fight, honestly. It just feels like we've kind of lost a lot of the coordination happening from the GSG side. RSPC is still holding strong with their coordination. You can see them holding D point specifically with these. We've got a medic and like 3 heavies and an NG.
To be fair, biolabs are very hard to push coordinated because you have
they're
so
very
many
clustery.
angles.
Yeah, very clustered.
And there's the SCU getting overloaded again. Let's see if they can do it this time.
My bet's on GSG pushing them out again. I only see a couple of, only about 4 RSPC guys in here, and every time that has popped off so far, GSG is just really quickly pushed into SCU room. So we'll see.
True. Very true. However, they did have Nexus before.
Yeah, I do think they're running out of resources at this point. There's no way they can keep pulling those maxes that they have.
They did wipe the NC though.
Well, they have 1 infill in here. But man, this shotgun spam is pretty crazy.
Yes, I'm sorry for butchering it before. It's NATO, not Nielo. My memory of names is very bad.
And yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a reason nobody really wants you to talk about them. Really, I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
That's just what I've heard. That's just what I.
Listen here, Betty,
Wait, no, hold on.
Someone just pointed this out in chat, Dream 8 actually, and I think it's an angle we haven't considered yet.
Oh yeah.
GSG focused on the SCU is free time on the point. And that's a good point actually. Every time you overload that SCU, they commit a bunch of people.
They immediately push back onto Scoop.
Well, because they have to. If they lose that, the banana teleporter is so easy to camp.
Oh, repush by RSPC, countering them back out of B point once again. And here we go. They're going to drop on C and surround the boys that are over.
Not eluded us. Fight harder.
The interaction between the C and B point is great, honestly.
Yeah.
Can just move from one to the other. It's a very dynamic fight.
Yeah, once again, RSPC holding on to B point, not having really a hard time with it either. GSG just kind of keeps.
To the SCU.
Yeah. Oh, are they
and
holding
this time
SCU still?
holding it.
Oh yeah, decent presence in. Though I will say, one Conkinade usually messes this whole thing up. So we'll see if they've got a Conkinade ready to go for him. Actually, it doesn't look like they even need them. They got shotgun heavies coming. Interestingly enough, they also have a...
No, they're cleared.
Yeah, no, they cleared it.
And that is, this is now very tough for GSG to bounce back, even in this blister space. Pushing, capping that banana teleporter is incredibly easy if RSPC manages to set it up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we've got no SKU now. Single spawn for the TR side. Gonna be very difficult for them to come back out of that.
TR do have control of the room, but they don't have any engineers inside. Oh no! Oh, they are dropping repair grenades on them.
Yeah, that's how they repaired the shield before. So maybe that strategy will work again.
Yeah, however, it's 15 seconds till the cap.
Yeah.
And that would be the GG.
Oh,
Once you lose your
boy.
home base, it's over. B point is flickering.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining anyway.
No matter
If
how
they
this
can at
ends,
least-
I do want to point out that GSG did a lot better in the second half than in the first
Oh, yeah.
one, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. They held on to that root house area so well. It was crazy. I did not expect that at all.
They were also better on redeploying and setting up for the defense.
Yeah.
Big improvement from them.
Yeah, that's what you want to see in LaneSmash. You want to see people improve and get a lot faster. What the whole meta around LaneSmash is just quick, speedy recoveries, and then managing those resources. So they did a good job at the speed part, but at the end of the day, RSPC did just manage to have better kind of setups, really, for a lot of this. And there goes the RSPC cap.
End of match. RSPC
quick,
wins this match by
leaderboard
6 points and 0 points to GSG.
I think something's wrong with the script, by the way, because didn't they cap both times?
What do you mean?
Didn't they cap the home base both times?
Should be.
RSPC.
Oh yeah, I see. It says 4
So
RSPC.
it should be 6-0.
Yeah, it should be. I'll change it right now.
Amazing
Both
showing
team
from-
captains, please go to the waiting for interview channel.
Amazing showing from RSPC and good improvement from GSG.
Yeah, actually, fantastic improvement by GSG. Once again, like, you know, we're in LaneSmash season, but that doesn't mean you can't still learn. And I don't think that's not like their last match or anything. So as long as they're learning from that, it's really what you want to see. And I'm glad we saw that from the GSG team. Speaking of, actually, which one are we grabbing? I think it's
was moved to your channel.
oh, there. Oh, that's not
we're
him.
waiting on the GSG.
Right, we're waiting on GSG guy.
leader. I agree. Like, we've seen this in previous seasons that teams just grow over the season incredibly. Last year there was one Chinese team that started out really not great, and they were one of the best teams in the competition by the end.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting on the GSG guys, we have a couple of RSPC guys here. Oh, here's Rapid. Actually, he's let's bring him in.
User was moved to your channel.
Yeah, I moved in.
There we go. Rapid, you there? There we go.
What's up, my dudes?
All right. So you know, overall, really good showing by honestly both teams. I know you lost home base twice, but actually it was still a really good showing by the GSG teams. I want to applaud you. It seemed like you guys kind of really picked it up on that second match or second half, and you did a pretty good job there. What did going into that second half, before I start with the RSPC guys' questions, did you kind of have like a quick sit down and kind of talk about what you wanted to do when it comes to like the airball and all that, or because it seemed like you guys had a little bit better of an idea of how to hold off the RSPC guys on that initial push?
Yeah, especially for that first half, we were trying to go for heavy infantry, but we were just kind of all over the place mentally when it came to that first half. So we weren't in the right mindset, so everything was everywhere. So when we tried to go heavy infantry for that back cap at Root House for that first half, we just weren't ready. So I just let my air guys, air guys, do what you need to do. I trust you guys, and they did pretty good until, of course, we just got run over as infantry and air got control again.
I will say though, very very good showing when you held on to Root House. I thought you guys did a fantastic job. That said, RSPC, you guys had some absolutely filthy spots that you had vehicles set up to. Did you guys go like long ahead of time and say we want vanguards here shooting into this building, or was that more of just like your guys knew what to do already? You didn't really have to micromanage too
We already played the lane last year, and we got dedicated people for the cheese, so they go in recon on the base for all matches. So we are talking together about what are the good spots before the match, during the week before the match. So we don't have a special doc with all the spots setted, but people who got the job to do, they know
Really?
where are the good spots.
That's interesting. I really thought you guys had maybe like gone on previously, maybe even and then just gone through which bases has like these crazy spots. But you're saying that your individual guys that do a lot of tanking and harassing actually knew where to go, just naturally.
Not naturally. That's because of we are training. We are trying to train at least one time on the lane internal.
Okay.
And
So a bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both. And we got a match, a preparation match last week on the lane against SH. Don't remember the tag.
HSK, yeah.
Yes. So after that, we generally have a long debrief. Looking at players' POVs, and so yeah, we talk about it during hours during the week to find what are the good spots, what are our weakness, what are we going to work on during the trainings.
Yeah, we knew before the start of the game that GSG would use a lot of maxes on point, and it was kind of our weakness, but to push a point with a lot of maxes. So we practiced that specifically this thing during the week. Because we knew that about cheese. That I mean, we saw in the preseason match from GSG that they didn't had that much air, so we were not that afraid about that. So we decided to really focus on how to dislodge a point with a lot of maxes, because we expected that GSG would do that.
I think you did a great job of that, especially those. I think it was 2 or 3 people I saw with Ambusher LA with C4. Those really did work against the max holds. That being said, though, that one hold GSG did on what's the base called again?
Root House.
Root House, yeah.
That was an amazing hold. I just like.
Oh yeah.
After the first round, I really hope for GSG to show us a bit of resistance here, and you really did with that hold. It's unfortunate that for you guys that it didn't go through.
Really close though. It was really close, and I was super happy to see that because that was a fantastic. Like just moving between hall over to server room and back to hall again where it was safer. Just like you don't always see that happen unless you have at least a little bit of coordination. So yeah, was that actually what was exactly going on when that was going when you had the vanguards kind of shelling inside like that? Was that just like you saying, hey, let's all just move to hall, let's just stay in here and then do a counter push every time, or was that more of just everyone had to kind of make up their own mind and see what's going on?
I was really pulling people as waves. So I'd be like, okay, guys, move to hall, shoot downstairs, hold down double backs, etc., etc. Just moving people around as kind of a blob of players, because usually we'd we'd hold small, we'd pick off a few that come smaller for big, and then we flow into dubs and repush dubs. But a lot of the times, like, we weren't ready for the C4 plays, and that's what really got us off when we finally gave them dubs that last hold. Also, those flashes, man, my eyes, dude. Oh my.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good use of grenades and such, but especially the C4 was just incredible. And I kind of want to talk to RSPC real quick about that. Did you have any medics running anything besides C4, or did you even have like heavies running C4 a lot of the times? Because it seemed like you just had a ton of C4 throughout the whole map.
Generally, our medics are playing C4 all the time, except maybe the one who got the bubble, the shield bubble. We are generally playing with a lot of C4. We had a special total point loadout for heavies with C4 also. I don't know if how guys use it a lot, but to come back on the flashes, they are really strong. Actually, on the game, it's basically you can't really avoid it if you're in the range. So they are very strong there, and the time you're just white is very long. So it's a very strong grenade.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it was a fantastic match, both guys. I hope to see more of this in the future, like that, like just learning in general mid match and kind of really up in your game second half. And I really hope to see just more filthy spots like RSPC showed for vehicles, because that was there were very disgusting spots sometimes. That harasser, especially, I'm thinking of Beetle, holding off the entire roof point was phenomenal. So yeah, both guys did a fantastic job. I want to thank both of you for playing. Billy, you have anything you want to add before I go on?
No, I had fun watching that. Great preparation from RSPC, and as you said, great mid-match learning and
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of a comeback from GSG. And congratulations again to RSPC
Yep,
for winning.
congratulations to RSPC. For anybody wondering for the next match, by the way, the next match will be next weekend. It looks like at 1400 EDT and where's the UTC here? 1800 UTC on May 8th, and that is going to be OP versus AFSX, the Kawadi amp station lane. So that's going to be exciting to watch as well. Make sure you guys all go and watch that.
Also, if you didn't know, in I think half an hour, I'm not entirely sure because of time zones, Ashley is going to interview Rel on his stream.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if
maybe
anybody
that's
didn't know about
interesting
that,
for people.
Yeah, it's happening in a half an hour, I think.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely
so I
want to
was
tune into
right
that
about
if
the time
anybody's
zones. Hell yeah.
if anybody's interested in the state of the game looking forward. Most likely going to be kind of questions asked like that. Head on over to Archie's channel after this. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. You guys did a fantastic job. I want to thank you one more time, and congratulations to the RSPC team.
Yeah, GG
GG's, great match.
Yeah,
GG, everybody.
GSG.
as well.
Yeah, good man.